I would like to take this opportunity today to introduce to you the three beautiful products that Dr. Raghavan, or just Raghu, has given to us to share with the world. Let me say at the outset that these products do not treat, heal, or cure anything. Rather, they are triggering the body to take care of itself in ways we never imagined was possible. Raghu, can you take a moment and share with us a little of your background and your journey leading up to the creation of these products? What is your background?
So, my background is, I did my master's in organic chemistry from the Indian Institute of Technology in Bombay, and then headed off to Oregon to do my PhD. My goal was to come and discover a drug, because this was the center for drug research. Then from there, I did my postdoc at Columbia at the Max Planck Institute in Germany. I spent 3 years, so I speak German. And I was in Canada for a little while before I came to the US in Quebec, so I understand a little bit of French. And then I did work in Columbia University. Then I worked for Novartis. In those days, it was called Ciba-Geigy. And then for Boehringer Ingelheim. So during that time, I learned all the finer aspects of so-called drug discovery. So I knew what needed to be done. But by the time I spent a whole decade there, I was sure that this was not the answer. So I had to look for a different answer. And the answer came in 1996 when I was at a conference, and there was a guy, I believe his name was Dr. Stephen Felice, and he said, who happened to be an MD PhD, and he had done a lot of work with amino acids and nutraceuticals and so on. And he mentioned the fact that during his lifetime, there would be a product that would replace all drugs. And everybody laughed and everybody clapped, but they didn't take him seriously. But for me, that sentence that the nutraceutical could do this was not an eye-opener, but which one and how to do it was the problem. And over time, I investigated my own family, and I found out that in my father's side of the family, the brothers lived, the 4 brothers, all of them lived well, over 85, average age, they lived about 85 or so. But in my aunts, there were 5 aunts, and they came from a good stock, because my grandfather lived to be 97, my grandmother lived to be 96, but they had all the diseases. So I happened to talk to my uncle, the only survivor. He took me to his kitchen and showed me, listen, this is what I do. I eat raw sugar. This is called jaggery. I cook in coconut oil. When I eat a fruit, it's the whole fruit. I don't take a salt. I use no processed foods. And I get the rice straight from our village, unprocessed rice. And that's it. And I go in the sun, I walk, and that was it. But that same evening, I met a friend of mine who was another friend, who asked me a question. Hey, Raghu, you work in the pharma, you should know this answer. In our factory, I work as a medical officer in the sugar factory. And here I have all the executive staff have all the diseases like metabolic syndrome, like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, kidney disease, and so on. But the workers don't seem to have it. I said, what's the key difference? He says the difference is that the executives corner and you take home the free supply of refined sugar, whereas the workers are left with jaggery, which is the unrefined one. They don't get the refined sugar. Immediately, I was able to make the connection. It was like a 50,000 volt shock going through your head. Voila, there is the answer. There's something in the jaggery. Immediately, I knew what was in the jaggery because I'm an organic chemist. The next stage was to find out it was there. This was in, I believe, 2007. I found out that it was there, what I was looking for. The next one was to make it water soluble and stable, which is what we did in Switzerland. In 2008, November. Since then, I've been using that, I've been using that product. So it was a journey where it took time, but once it happened, we found a stable formulation. This product is stable forever at room temperature. Stable forever. I have samples which now are about 13 years old. And it's translucent, as the Rig Veda describes it, a little yellow in color, hue, over 13 years. It's stable and still potent. Nothing grows in it. We have tested this in a lab in India where the guy would open the bottle in an area where a lot of, in India, the tropical country, where bacteria and everything grows, fungi. But this product, every year we checked for 3 years in a row, nothing grows on it. And that's why it's a very powerful antibacterial, antiviral compound, which we have shown. So that was the journey. But the journey was also to find out how it worked. And that is where we are. We know how it works. And it's fascinating to see that nature has provided us the tools of survival. And this happens to be that very special tool, which we have missed over all these years. Every animal and every species in the wild knows exactly what to do when they're sick. That's why when we disturb their environment, they start disappearing. So the key is that every species born, that evolution has allowed us to happen, is also given the tools of survival. And I think we have just found out that this is the tool of survival for us as human beings, and also for the animal kingdom. It's the same, it works on all the other animals as well. So nature left us the gift. Nature doesn't create life without giving it the tools of survival, the tools of protection. And this is how evolution works. And I think we have it.
Beautiful. Thank you. And if you're willing, would you share with us your journey of visiting the Vereswaran temple, if I have that pronunciation even half close, a few years ago? Tell us what happened.
I found out about this temple called Vaidishwaran Temple, which is in Tamil Nadu, South India. It's about 5,600 years old. This is supposed to be the birthplace of Ayurveda, I'm told. But this temple, they worship sugarcane, jaggery. So you go into this temple, you have this jaggery in your hand, you put a little bit of salt in it. We also have salt in our product, citric acid, makes some sodium citrate or whatever. And you pray that your disease goes away, and then you pour it and it goes into the pond, which is an enclosed pond. The pond looks dirty, but the water but nothing grows in the pond because, the polycosanols take care of all the bacteria and the viruses. I went there in 2016, I believe March 26th or 27th. It's at 8 p.m. in the evening. So when I walked in, the head priest from nowhere, he came. He couldn't have known that I don't know anybody there. I was with a friend who took me inside. He said, "You must be the medicine man. This temple has been waiting for you." And that, I think, nearly knocked me out of my stable because, how did this guy know? He took us straight into the inner sanctum of the temple. In fact, if you go there, you will see a bottle of Nano Soma there. So
beautiful story.
That was amazing. The next morning around the temple, there are a lot of people who read leaves. See, the mythology is that the god wrote down all the people who are going to be living in this earth so many years ago. So when you go in, you put your thumbprints or whatever and your date of birth, and they find the leaf and they will open it one by one and read your history. Who your father was, who your mother was, which part of the world you're coming from, what is your profession. And it's been written down 5,000 years ago that this person would do this, and this is the medicine that will go in, is the medicine man. The first thing they read in that leaf was that you are the medicine man, you have a medicine. It's an experience that everybody should have because this is profound. You have to forget all the logic of Western science because it doesn't exist. This is really, the science already was there. This is really hard science.
A beautiful story. And he directed you to another temple to visit?
Yeah, he directed, he said, listen, if this is the real thing, then you should go to the other temple. It's called Chittambaram temple. And he said, there is the sun god and the moon god. It's made of stones, granite stones, in India we call them. But it's not covered. Generally, the devotees donate covering which is made by silver, or some people put diamonds and even platinum, depending on how much you can afford. But you have to tell them about yourself, your date of birth, time of birth, or whatever. They do a simple ceremony, and if you're worthy of it, then you will be able to donate. And the head priest there warned me that everybody has tried to give what we call kavacham, means a cover, the name, but nobody has succeeded. Rich people, powerful people, politicians, the temple never accepted that. So we will do whatever ceremony we do in secret, and we'll let you know. And sure enough, with a few days later, he called me and said, they have accepted your offer. We did the covering for the sun god and the moon god. If you go there, they know about this. And he was surprised because all these years, nobody was able to donate. They asked me why. I told them, this is a product of vitamin D. He said, yes, this is the sun. Sun is what you need to make vitamin D. And you have that product, blessed by the sun. Because the first part was essence of pristine water, which we found out what it was. The second was blessed by Agni. Agni in Sanskrit means fire. It could also mean the fire from the sun, So these two were profound things which changed my outlook. And I said, these people, whoever existed in those days, 5,600 years ago, were far more advanced than what we are today. We are basically, in a way, in the Stone Age as far as medicine goes. We haven't understood ourselves. The minute you understand yourself, how your body works, which they knew, it makes a profound difference in your attitude. Because once you know that you can overcome disease, your mind and attitude to life changes completely. That you get up every morning and knowing that your body is stable, there's nothing to worry about, so you can focus on the things at hand. And it makes people more productive and more alert, and you may even call it smarter. That smarter is not because suddenly they got intelligence, it's because their ability to focus. In fact, I had a guy who come and fix our air conditioner, and he told me he tried this product, and he's a student of transcendental meditation, and he said taking 5 sprays is equal to doing 1 hour of meditation. So it had a profound effect on him. So there are a lot of things to be said. There is something spiritual about it, and we have noticed that the people who tend to be spiritual, I don't mean religious, but spiritual, who believe in some forces beyond us, which we cannot explain, tend to get cured much faster. This is I've seen across the board. And people who are skeptical all the time. Okay, let me try it for a day or two. Let's see. Okay, it's not approved by FDA, all kinds of things they come up with. It doesn't seem to have that effect on them. So this is I think this molecule is a very intelligent molecule, whatever it is. It seems to have some kind of life. I don't know, whatever it is, it's a molecule. Molecules of life, we know that. But in the body, it does miraculous things. It tells the body, hey, I'll come here. I'm going to recertify you. You need to change your habits. This is what you need to do. And that's how it seems to work all the time. So far, it has never failed us. There are a few people who have complained that nothing happened. And in some of the cases, when we got the blood report, we looked at it, they were all already good to begin with. So nothing will change. Some of them said, oh, my sugar level went up. It went up 2 points. That's not a big deal. But that's the way they looked at it. But it has a profound effect on the body over time. And when you experience it, that's when you experience true health.
Thank you, Raghu. And I wanted you to share the story of your trip through the temples because it says to me several things and says what a beautiful, profound individual that you are, and the fact that it was your, you might say, designated mission to bring these products into the world in this time. The evidence is abundantly clear, and not just one temple, but two. And secondly, to understand the spiritual context for these beautiful products. These are not some random thrown together products that are emerging in the world at this time. It is profound, and they are coming into the world in a truly profound time. And these are truly profound products. Raghu has developed these products under the name of metadicol, and I would like him to explain to us exactly what metadicol is.
Then we chose the name initially metadicol because the anagram of means methodical, so it works methodically in the body. So basically, metadicol consists of, the major ingredient is actually water. Over 98% is water. We have 0.5% of what we call as the sugarcane wax, not normally known as polycosanol. And we got vitamin E and a little bit of citric acid just to make preservative, because some countries demand that we use a preservative like citric acid. So we have that. It's a very small amount, 0.1%, so nothing major. And this is the stable formulation. And you can see here, this is my bottle of metadicol. Nano Soma is the same thing. So if you see the bottle here, this is what it looks like. And all you have to do to use it is to take this cap off, and there's a small spray there, and spray it in your mouth. You can spray it anywhere in the body, in the hair, eyes, anywhere. It's very safe.
Beautiful.
So that's how it works. The spray works.
Beautiful. And has anyone shown any negative reactions to this? Is anyone allergic to these products?
You cannot be allergic to this product because this is a product of that every food that you eat contains this in one form or the other. So it's impossible to be allergic to it. So, for example, you may eat bread, you may eat pasta, you may eat broccoli, you may eat potatoes, it's right there. So it's ubiquitous in the food supply chain. And the problem is the amount is less or more depending on the level of processing. So you cannot be allergic to it, it's impossible.
Fantastic. And so what kind of benefits have you seen that this product brings?
The very first thing it does to people is, it works in the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the power plant of our body. This is the area in the cell where the power plant of the body is located and ATP is produced, and this powers the cells. So unless this is working efficiently, your body is not working, not getting the energy, then you're going to have a problem. So the first thing it does intuitively is fix the mitochondria. So we see here from people, hey, my energy level went up. It's because now the mitochondria is working. And then it's able to then supply this energy to the cells. Then the cells begin to work. You see, when you're sick, the body shuts down many biological processes because there's only so much energy that the mitochondria produces. A lot of important activities are curtailed or reduced. And once you start supplying the energy that the cells need, all these processes restored. Therefore, the body responds. And therefore, diseases that happen because the cells were not working properly disappear, because now they have the energy and the cells work to overcome and carry out all the process needed for the body to reach a level of homeostasis. That means, there is no inflammation in the body.
Thank you. I would like to take a moment just to describe what I see as being the spiritual context of this beautiful product. I am now satisfied for several different reasons that the particle that's in this beautiful product, metadicol, actually brought the blueprint of biological life to this planet. And this is evidenced by the fact that when you put this product in whatever form in or on your body, it triggers the body to produce a replica of the human genome. This is profound. Secondly, it's been shown to regulate all of our nuclear receptors. We have 48 or 9 of these in our cells, and this beautiful product, the particle in it, regulates all of these nuclear receptors. There is no other known substance that actually regulates even one of them. For example, with the vitamin D receptor, vitamin D turns on the vitamin D receptor. But if the vitamin D receptor is overactive, which can happen, vitamin D can do nothing about it. Whereas the particle in metadicol is able to turn it on and also turn it off. So this is profound. And so this product, this nanoparticle or nanoemulsion of polycosanol, was in our food forever when it was unrefined, and when our food got refined, it disappeared. And now it is returning into our world. In my opinion, it's bringing with it the true, you might say, promise of the human form, where it can operate in its perfection, including a sustained, youthful form. Raghu is now 70 with the measured biological age of 48. 2 years ago it was 51. Biological age, his biological clock is running backwards. This is profound, truly profound, just by spraying 5 sprays of Nano Soma in your mouth once a day. And we do have a recommended startup protocol for those who have some kind of health condition or they are old like me, and that is to spray 5 sprays in your mouth 4 times a day whilst you're getting started until you use up 1 bottle, which takes about a week, and then 5 sprays twice a day until you use up a second bottle, which will take you about 2 weeks, and then settle into 5 sprays once a day. And this gives your system a kick start, you might say, in its journey to unfold its perfect health. This is profound. Truly profound, just by spraying 5 sprays of Nano Soma in your mouth once a day. And so let me demonstrate this to you. Here is the spray, the Nano Soma spray, and you simply spray it in your mouth, just like that. Try not to spill it. And it's as simple as that. That gives you the daily dosage of the Nano Soma spray. And this gives your system, you might say, a kick start in its journey to unfold its perfect health. And so Raghu, what's the difference between the spray and the gel?
With the gel, it's the same thing as the spray, the same concentration, 2.5 milligrams per gram, but it's in gel form, and the gel is also edible, and it allows you to apply it topically. Suppose somebody has, scratches all over your body, and there are some major scratches in some places. When you spray, the spray trickles down, and you may not get the full effect. Whereas with the gel, you can just apply it at the correct area. And what we have found is that the gel has the same efficacy, very close to it, as a liquid, and that's unheard of in annals of medical literature, because I worked with molecules which were tablets or capsules, and we convert to gel form, you get only 5% of the bioavailability. So that is why we got the patent, because it's obvious that you can make a gel, but to have a gel that is efficacy as the spray is very difficult. And in this case, we use something called xanthan gum, which is a common naturally occurring gum. And the gel, the nanoparticle, is stabilized in this gel matrix. And this is the key. Whereas if for example, if the gel, you keep it outside in -5 degrees centigrade for an hour, the gel will freeze and then it becomes useless. So one of the problems we have had in some countries has been to ship it under the right conditions. The gel cannot freeze. The liquid can freeze. Then you just let it thaw. It's okay, but you can't do it with the gel. The gel is fine. You can edible. For example, you can put it in your tooth if you have a toothache. You can put it in around your eyes if you want, into your nose when you have a cold. So it's very hard to do the spray, into the nose. And the gel does exactly the same thing as the spray.
Very good. And so here is the bottle of the Nano Soma topical gel. And you can see what you do is you just press down on the top and the gel comes out like so, and you can rub it on your face or on your hand wherever you wish, and it has a beautiful texture, beautiful feel to it. And I find these breed. This one lives on my office desk. There's one in the bathroom, in the bedroom, one in the kitchen for those little events that might happen, a burn or a cut or whatever. You simply apply the gel, and it's extraordinary how quickly things heal. Just amazing. We get those comments from people almost every day. Truly profound.
Yeah, this is wonderful if you are a sportsman or a football player, you have pull a muscle or sudden back pain, you just apply there. Within a matter of minutes, the pain goes away, and within 15 minutes, or 20 minutes, you're back again playing. It's very useful, especially for sportsmen.
Fantastic. And so then we have the cream. Raghu, how do you make the cream and how is it different?
So first we make the spray, and from the spray we make the gel. From the gel, then we make the cream. So we add a few additional things. And I believe this is the only cream in the world which has a water base. Most creams, if you look at their constituents, they put a lot of mineral oil. They call it fillers. And we have no fillers. Ours is water. It's about 86% water, I believe, this cream. So when we have a few additional ingredients. They're all natural ingredients that give you the texture of the cream. And in fact, we have it done in a different facility outside near Zurich, where it has to be mixed in the right way. Otherwise, you cannot make this nano cream. It's a very difficult process, which we have mastered over 3-4 years. One mistake and the entire batch is gone. But the cream, the nice part about the cream is that when you apply the cream on your hand, it's 86% water. So the water gets repelled by the skin. What acts is actually all the ingredients. And this is also the same concentration as the gel, 2.5 milligrams per gram. And it has the same effect in terms of strengthening your skin. For example, because we use this, you can see the skin firm up. That's because the Nano Soma recycles vitamin C in the body. And vitamin C is what is needed for you to make the collagen firm. So this is where it has a phenomenon. It will remove, for example, marks on your skin, dips in your skin, loose skin. It tightens the skin because collagen is being produced because you need vitamin C for that. And we produce vitamin C. If you see many creams in the world, they contain a lot of vitamin C. They call it liposomal vitamin C, all kinds of nano vitamin C. But we don't give you vitamin C. Your own body produces it. And this is where the power of the cream lies. It's very powerful, and it's water-based. I believe it's only water-based, and 99.7% or 8% is of our ingredients is all natural. They may have funny-looking names on them, but they're all natural ingredients. So it's a natural cream. And that I think nobody has ever done. And it has to be treated the same way as the gel. You cannot let it freeze. All the three products are stable at room temperature forever. But if it goes very cool, -5 degrees, the cream will have the same problem. It becomes very hard. So.
Thank you. And so let me show you the Nano Soma telomerase natural skin cream. Here is the jar, and you simply take the top off and you squeeze out a little like so, and you just apply it to your face or wherever you wish. It has a beautiful texture and a beautiful vanilline aroma to it, which I think is just perfect. And the reports from people in using this is just wonderful. It's just a beautiful product. And again, one of the things to understand about these products is you might describe them as fussy about what they will mix with. I believe, Raghu, you said there were 5 natural fragrances you found you could potentially use with the cream, and if you try to use anything else, that it is unstable.
We have done 3. One is organic vanilla, other one is organic rose, the third one is patchouli oil, which is also in organic form. It's one of the plants. Those are the three we have been very successful with. If we try to add more or different compounds, the stability of the cream becomes questionable. It takes about a year for us to be sure that the cream is stable. So that's why over this last 5-6 years, we have stabilized the cream into those three fragrances: rose, vanilla, organic vanilla, and patchouli oil, so which is common fragrance.
Thank you. There is something special about the water that is used to make the base metadicol product. Can you explain that to us?
The water is key to the success of all the three products, because the spray, it works at 1 picogram in the cells. 1 picogram is taking one spray from that bottle, adding 200,000 sprays of water. That's technically about 1 picogram. So you cannot have impurities in the water which are in nanogram levels. Nanogram is 1,000 picograms is 1 nanogram. Even though it's considered safe, our product cannot tolerate any impurities greater than, more than picogram level. You can't have it at the nanogram level.
This product is described in the Indian spiritual text, the Rig Veda of 5600 BC. And there is a special water that they describe in that description. Can you explain it to us?
The Vedic literature, which talks about it, as the essence of pristine water, blessed by Agni. Agni means the sun, and smell of burnt paddy and rice or honey. The problem with that word is that in Sanskrit, one of the oldest language in the world, there are 260 words that describe water. It's mind-boggling. And so it's a very hard language to learn, because if somebody says water, you have to look at the context of that sentence, what it means. And so I had to consult a few of the guys who know, scholars in this area. And they told me that the word pristine means the water from the melting snows of Mount Kailash, where Shiva, one of the Indian gods, is supposed to be. And the water comes down, and below is the lake Manasarovar, So this is why the water, this is how we got the idea to make it in Switzerland. We have tried many waters from India, from China, from Australia, even US. US, for example, contains, nanograms of fluoride, and fluoride deactivates the thyroid receptor. So we have to be very careful in the water we find. It's just not distilled, it's not good enough. It has to be the right kind of water. And this is why we produce it in Switzerland at this stage.
Thank you, Raghu, for bringing this gift to us all, and it's just truly profound. I will mention in passing that you mentioned the water in the Rig Veda is from Mount Kailash. In July of 2018, I went and walked around Mount Kailash. I didn't know why I went. I was invited by an Indian yogi friend of mine to join his family walking around Mount Kailash, and we went there in July of 2018. It was a difficult trip. It's not an easy place to get to. It's very high. It's usually a 3-day trek around the mountain, and I had no clue why I was going before I went. I had no clue why I was there, but now I know my connection to this beautiful product. And as I say, the only way you can make sense of life is looking backwards. So Raghu, thank you. Thank you for your time and for sharing your insights with us and for sharing these beautiful products with us. Thank you.
As I tell everybody, try it. This is just as we pray for our soul. I think we need to pray for our health. And this is the spray that will do it for you.
Indeed it will. Indeed it will. And in my opinion, in 20 years' time, humanity will look back and wonder how it was we walked through this time of illness, disease, and aging, because none of it will exist courtesy of these beautiful products. And so I thank you once again for all that you have given to the world.